Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. In this video, we are asked to solve for x from this equation. So stay tuned and let's learn together. From the question, we were given x minus 1 multiplying x minus 2 multiplying x minus 8 multiplying x plus 5 plus 360 is equal to 0. Now from here, this is what we are going to do. We are going to first multiply this term by this term. And then we are also going to multiply this term by this term. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's first multiply x minus 1 multiplying x minus 2. So with this one, we are going to multiply x by this and then x by this one at the same time. And then you also multiply negative 1 by this and then this one at the same time. So let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to have x into x minus 2 minus 1 into x minus 2. And so from here we are going to have x squared minus 2x minus x plus 2. So this is going to give us x squared minus 2x minus x is going to give us minus 3x plus 2. Now let us consider x minus 8 and then x plus 5. So we have x minus 8 and then x plus 5. So we are going to do same. We are going to multiply x by this bracket and then negative 8 also by this bracket. So we are going to have x into x plus 5 minus 8 into x plus 5. And so when we expand the bracket, we are going to have x squared plus 5x minus 8x. And then 5 times 8 is 40. Remember, this is negative, so we are going to have negative 40. So here we are going to have x squared 5x minus 8x is going to give us minus 3x minus 40. Now the equation becomes x squared minus 3x plus 2 multiplying x squared minus 3x minus 40 plus 360 is equal to 0. I hope you agree with what is over here. We got it from here. We multiplied the first two terms and that resulted in this one. And then the second two terms also resulted in this one. Plus 360 is equal to 0. So from here we have x minus 3x in common. X minus 3x in common. So we are going to represent that by a variable. So we are going to let's say m to be equal to x squared minus 3x. And so when we substitute m in place of x squared minus 3x, we are going to have m plus 2 multiplying, and here we are going to have m minus 40 plus 360 is equal to 0. Now from here we are going to expand the bracket. So we are going to have m into m minus 40 multiplying plus 2 into m minus 40 plus 360 is equal to 0. Now when we expand the bracket, we are going to have m squared minus 40m plus 2m minus 2 times 40 is going to give us 80 plus 360 is equal to 0. Now from here we are going to have m squared and then we have minus 40m plus 2m, which is going to give us minus 38m. And then we have 360 minus 80, which we are going to have plus 280, and it is equal to 0. Now from here, we are having a quadratic equation over here. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to manipulate minus 38, such that we are going to pick two numbers. When we multiply the two numbers, we have to get 280. And then when we add those two numbers, we have to get minus 38. So we are going to pick minus 28 and then minus 10. So when we multiply these two numbers, we are going to get 280. And then when we add the two numbers, we are going to have minus 38. So in place of minus 38m, we are going to write m squared minus 28m minus 10m. You know, minus 28m minus 10m is going to give us minus 38m. So we have not done anything wrong to the equation. Then plus 280 is equal to 0. Now over here, we're going to factorize the terms in batches. the first two terms and the last two terms. And so we are going to have m out. Here we are going to be left with m minus 28. And over here we can factorize minus 10 out. And then here we'll be left with m. And then over here we are going to be left with minus 28. So this will be equal to 0. Now from here we are going to have m minus 10 multiplying m minus 28 is equal to 0. Now we have two factors, so it's either m minus 10 is equal to 0 or m minus 28 is equal to 0, or both of them will be equal to 0. And so we are going to have m to be equal to 10 and then m to be equal to 28. But we can't end here because we let m to be equal to x squared minus 3x. So we have to come and then substitute m over here, the value of m that we had over here. Now let's clean this side and do that. So let us consider when m is equal to 10. So when m is equal to 10, what are you going to get for x? So you are going to have 10 is equal to x squared minus 3x. Now from here we can move positive 10 to the right hand side. So we are going to have 0 to be equal to x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now you can rewrite this well. X squared minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Again, we are having a quadratic equation over here, and we are going to do the same thing. We are going to manipulate minus 3x. So you are going to pick two numbers that when we multiply, you are going to get minus 10, and then when we add them, you are going to get minus 3. So you are going to pick minus 5 and then 2. So minus 5 times 2 is going to give us minus 10, and then when we add minus 5 to 2, you are going to have minus 3. So you are going to rewrite the equation as x squared minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. Now let's factorize this in batches. So you are going to have x squared out. Here you are going to be left with x minus 5. Then over here we can factorize 2 out, so plus 2 out, leaving x minus 5, and this will be equal to 0. Now you are going to have x plus 2 multiplying x minus 5 is equal to 0. And so here we are having two factors. So it's either the first term is equal to 0, the second term is equal to 0, or both of them will be equal to 0. And so we are going to have x plus 2 is equal to 0, or we are going to have x minus 5 is equal to 0. So we are going to have x to be equal to negative 2 and then x to be equal to 5. So we are having two answers for x now. Now let us consider when m is equal to 28. Now when m is equal to 28, what are you going to get for x? We are going to have 28 is equal to x squared minus 3x. Now let's move everything to the right hand side, and so we are going to have x squared minus 3x minus 28 is equal to 0. Again, we have a quadratic equation over here, and so the two numbers that we are going to pick is minus 7 and then 4. And so when we multiply these two numbers, you are going to get minus 28. And then when we add the two numbers, you are going to get minus 3. And so we are going to rewrite the equation as x squared minus 7x plus 4x minus 28 is equal to 0. Now let's factorize the terms in batches of 2. So the first two terms, you are going to have x out, leaving x minus 7. Then over here, we can factorize positive 4 out. Here I'm going to be left with x minus 7 is equal to 0. Now the equation becomes x plus 4 multiplying x minus 7 is equal to 0. So we have two factors again. So it's either x plus 4 is equal to 0, or we are going to have x minus 7 is equal to 0. So here you are going to have x to be equal to minus 4 and then x to be equal to 7. So finally, we are having four answers for x. So x is equal to -2, 5, -4, and then 7. So these are the four answers that we are having for x, and then these answers can satisfy the equation as well. Thank you for watching. If you find the video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and then comment as well. See you in our next video. Bye bye for now.